It is nice to walk into that energy. Thank you. And boy, could I use it today. Good morning. Welcome to the Eureka Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Scott. I'll be your host for the next couple of minutes. Well, if this was a ship, it would be listing why everybody's on one side. All right, we always start out our service by honoring the land on which we are located. And if you haven't learned what that sign is in the front, Rick, are you willing to re-explain what the sign is here? Because I think it's important that we point it out. That's the native language of the Wiyot people, and it's translated to say, I love Eureka. And Rick researched that for us, and so that's why he's here. So let's honor that land. The Eureka Center for Spiritual Living acknowledges that the land on which we gather is the ancestral territory of the Wiyot peoples. This territory extends to the communities through most of Humboldt County, and we honor the Wiyot peoples today. And welcome Zoomers, welcome guests, welcome first-timers, just welcome in general. Okay, let's move forward, and today we'll just read it right off the screen. We will do our opening affirmation and then turn to somebody with love, energy, and enthusiasm and say, I honor the path that brought you here this morning. But together we all say, we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. And turn to somebody and say, I honor the path that brought you here this morning. You can see the announcements on the screen, everything that is coming up this week. Oh, by the way, please silence your phones. I forgot to say that. So here's everything that's coming up this week, and we have a lot. If you do not receive Angelica's newsletter, please sign up for it, and then you are informed of this every week, and then a big bonus one every month. So you can talk to Angelica if you would like to do that, or fill out the guest book in the other room. Let's see, what else do we have here? We have got, I wanted to mention that Carol Rollins, where are you? Oh, there we are, okay. Has now stepped up and is going to be our director in charge of ushering. So Carol, I don't know if you wanted to actually come up here and say anything. It's up to you if you do. But otherwise, I can kind of ad-lib it. Come on.
Well, we want to give everybody a chance. We want to give everybody a chance who hasn't been doing things on Sundays to give a chance to help and participate. So we have a sign-up sheet. We're going to have 2 ushers every month. We have a little instruction sheet, and we're going to have an alternate sheet so in case somebody has to go on vacation or gets sick. So come see me afterwards. We're not going to have a sign-up sheet. We're just come see me, and we'll talk about it, and I can give you the papers and stuff, okay? So anybody who wants to, now's your chance.
Thank you, Carol. And what an usher does is the ushers are the people who pass the bowl around to collect the money. So it's a very simple job. We could use the volunteers, and please see Carol. Sign up. Okay, let's see here. We have a listening circle on Zoom. This is brand new. It is starting Wednesday the 20th. I can only speak for me. Boy, do we need it now. This is a chance to just talk, to listen, to not be judged, to not be fearful. Although if you are feeling afraid or you're feeling sad, it's a safe place to feel that. We are in, what is the old, I think it's a Chinese curse, may you live in fascinating times, which was always considered a curse because the times that are most fascinating to historians are the times that are most terrifying to the people who live within them. I remember watching when the epidemic started, COVID, watching a show on Netflix, like one of those Grand Masters where the professor talks, and she was talking all about the Black Plague. And I remember her talking about the Black Plague in Europe and saying, It was a really fascinating period. And I'm thinking, for the people who were living through it, I really doubt that was their first word. So we are living in fascinating times. We all need support. And that's what the Listening Circle is about. And anyway, we'll let it go at that. Okay, first night. Speaking of disappointed. So the play this was supposed to be the third day of the play. The first day of the play will be this coming Thursday. So we had one of our cast members on Tuesday night get he collapsed due to pain. Had to be rushed to the hospital. And this is live theater, it's got live people. Things happen to live people. So I made a call in conjunction with the rest of management to delay the opening because we did not know if he would be back, if he was going to be coming back. We didn't want him to feel, he's a great guy, but he's like, I'll do it for the team. No, we don't need you doing that for the team. I also had in my other role at the theater, had to notify a sold-out weekend of 300 people that we were changing all the tickets. So that's been my last couple of days. So Angelica thankfully picked up the load on this. I moved the tickets over. So our first night is actually now second night, because opening night will be Thursday, but we're all going to do the celebration on Friday. Your tickets, if you have signed up for them and have paid, and I believe now everybody has, if not, please see me, because I've paid for them already. The tickets have all been moved. The play will be great. The cast is raring to go after all of this. So that'll be this coming Friday night. There are still a few seats left over. You probably won't be able to sit with the whole crowd because the seats are kind of scattered here and there, but please feel free to show up or to let me know. And also please feel free to go to any other night and spread the word because we could all, especially in these times, use a fun, farcical comedy. Yes, walking off. He returned the next day. And said, like I had said, he said, I'll go through with it. And it was like, no, you won't. And so I have been not only director, producer, but also therapist all week. So anyway, yes, he is back and he seems strong. And it gave us time to do some more work. So we've got rehearsals this week. Okay, that's first night. The men's group. There we go. Will be Saturday the 23rd, led by our own Edward, wherever Edward has disappeared to. Oh, way over there on the high chair, whatever that's called. The high chair. On the high one. I like high chair. I think that's much better. I had a new member once, or somebody who was attending for the first time, say, why does one person get to sit in the throne? So that's just where one of the practitioners will sit and just hold good thoughts for everybody sitting here. So that's what Edward is doing. The rest of us don't hold good thoughts. We give it all up to Edward. But anyway, Edward's men's group is next Saturday, or Saturday the 23rd. Speaking of coming up, Reverend Angelica is doing a potluck right here at the center from noon until however late it goes. There is a sign-up sheet on the table for that too. Sign up for that, please. Our decoration giveaway. So because of the fact that I thought that I was going to be done with the play, because as a director, once the play starts, you don't have to do anything anymore. But since apparently that is not the case, because the play has not yet started, this was the week that I was going to really start dedicating my time and energy to our free holiday decoration giveaway. And I'm very short-staffed now, me being the staff. We have a lot of volunteers, but if you would be willing to in any way, shape, or form, and the biggest thing we need right now is to get the word out. So there are posters printed? No, okay, so we need to get some posters printed, put them all around town, post on social media, share the event. If you have not been to this, all we do is collect decorations. One of my cast members is moving away, and she said, brought a bunch of decorations to the theater for us to decorate the set. And I said, oh goodness, could we have those for the center? She said, whatever my daughter doesn't want, I will donate to the center. And if you find other people, if you go through your attic, garage, whatever, and there's things that have been sitting there forever, don't let them sit there. Bring them here. Tell friends and neighbors to do the same thing, and then we will need people. Staffing is the fun part, but we also need people to help organize and get everything together. So we could use volunteers. Please sign up, and I will reach out to you probably the next week, because I don't know what my time will look like this week. Yes?
Who do we have that's going to make a poster?
I've made the poster, and I had sent it, and I thought they were going to be printed out, but there's a...
I'm wondering if I could have one emailed to
Yeah, anybody who wants to have one emailed where you could print out, get me your information. Or you have them already? Is that?
Just mail it out to the email list.
Oh, okay, could you mail them out through our email list? Okay. And then print as many as you can and put them all over town. And again, it's just a wonderful event. There's no cost, it's just people who just don't have ornaments, just get to come and get ornaments. And all sorts of other decorations too. So yeah, Angelica will send out the poster in the email. Okay, the bookstore. The bookstore, he said repeatedly. The bookstore. There we go. November sale. Great reading. All books are 50% off in the other room. Please see Michele or on, it is you, right, Michele? Yeah, okay. And on Monday, Walk and Awe is here, and you can come by and get books also. Speaking of helping the community, our little pantry needs to be fed. All we need are non-perishable foods. You can put them in there on your own, or you can bring them on Monday en masse, in big groups. And Walk and All will split them up and put them out there too. And I think that is it. So we'll move forward into the rest of the service. Our theme for this month, Forever Grateful. And coming up to do the moment of peace will be Michele, who will have music with Jackson.
Well, I was mining my files to find something fun to read today, and I found this old email that I don't know whether it was one of our old ministers that sent this or what, but it was from 2005, so like 20 years ago. And this was something that was written apparently by a practitioner in Northern California, San Jose, which I don't think of as Northern California, but her name is Doris Jones, so I don't know if she's still a practitioner or not, but I thought it was really neat. And so it's called A Personal Design of Living for All Practitioners, and we are all practitioners. And that's one of the things I love about this philosophy is the idea of practicing peace, practicing love, practicing that oneness that we are all a part of. And I thought this went really well with that, as well as gratitude. So I'm going to read this, and then we'll have a couple moments of silence before Jackson plays us into the opening invocation. So if you would just allow yourself to just take a couple of deep healing breaths, just letting the breath flow in and flow out, just anchoring you to this moment. A personal design of living for all practitioners, beginning with you and ending nowhere. Continuously court the presence of God. Know all life is one life, everywhere present. See the face of God in all those around you. Remember, your thinking co-creates your life. Accept your intuition as spiritual guidance. No choice is everyone's birthright. Be compassionate, non-judgmental, understanding, loving, and ready to listen. Bless others generously with your smile. Live in integrity. Bring your best to all you do. Be non-resistant to life as it evolves with you. Be a joyous example of living in truth. Live fully in the larger picture of conditions. Remember, you do make a difference in the world. Be thankful for all that is.
tell you you were less than home. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
And how deep the connections are that all of us have with each other, with nature, and the world around us. I know that spirit that surrounds us, that flows through us, embodies us in love and light and peace. And this morning, as we come together for this service in person and on Zoom, I know that we are all in that beautiful connection together, receiving the wonderful words of Reverend Angelica and allowing them to infuse our hearts with love and light. And with that, allowing them to flow out into our world and everyone we meet. And I know that this service unfolds in its right and perfect way, and we are all a part of that. And so it is.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than home? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my
And now, I welcome to the podium Reverend Angelica.
Thank you, Jackson. And Michelle, that was really good. So good morning, everyone. How are we doing? We are. We are doing. I want to say that I'm really grateful to Carol, who came up with the idea of having, a set group for our offering, etc. And it's interesting. I need to warn you that if you come to me with a good idea, you'll be asked to head it. So, but yet, this is the community. It takes all of us to create this community. And for me, it's so wonderful to have everybody participating. I mean, I remember the last time we honored our volunteers, just about everybody in the congregation stood up, and it was like, yay! This is a wonderful thing, a wonderful thing. So we're still in the month of gratitude, and I gotta tell you that gratitude has helped me a lot this week and the past week. I was thinking earlier about how easy it is for us to run down the rabbit hole. And then I thought, my brain went, where did that phrase come from? And I didn't stop and look it up like I would normally do, but I had this idea that maybe that phrase comes because when you're horseback riding, a rabbit hole is about the size of a horse's hoof. And so if a horse happens to stick its hoof in that while it's running, everybody goes flying, right? And that's what I was feeling. That's what I've been feeling like a lot, is that no sooner do I breathe into everything and I start being grateful for the things around me, etc., then somebody starts a conversation and I'm right there. And I'm adding my 2 cents. And this is what I heard, or this is what I saw, or whatever. And it's like, whoa, stop. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I have to keep bringing myself back. So I came up with some ideas in the way to use gratitude to help us recognize the gifts that we have all around us. Because what I've noticed is that there are a lot of people afraid right now. Fear is rampant. The energy of fear is absolutely everywhere. And I'm going to tell you, you do not have to buy into it. I don't have to buy into it. I keep telling myself, yes, this looks like all hell is broken loose, but something amazing is going to come out of it. I don't know what it is, but I do believe that. So here's some ideas on, I have 3 gifts that come out of practicing gratitude. And that's my talk title today, Gratitude for the Gifts of Life. So the first one is the gift of presence. I think that we need to really understand how profound the gift of being alive is. I mean, we get to be in these bodies, we get to have experiences with each other and with nature, and we get to eat things. We have these 5 senses that we get to use and experience all of this life. And what a great gift that is. I've often thought that when we're in the spirit form, we're just sort of this nebulous energy that's floating around. But here, we're absolutely in a body, and we can be in the present moment if we choose. So what I started thinking about was the fact that we talk a lot about how we create things, and yet life, this thing inside of us that is animating this earth suit, we didn't create that, but we're using it. It's something that we continuously receive from the divine. So we get to use it. And every breath, every heartbeat, and every sunrise or sunset or the moon up in the sky, whatever, is a testimony to this divine flow of life. So can you imagine waking up each morning and choosing to see the day as a precious gift? Can you see each moment as an opportunity or a chance to experience the sacred? Think what your life would be like if you did that. So just close your eyes for a minute and let yourself take a deep breath and really feel grateful for this miracle of this life force, this life energy that's flowing through you all the time. And be grateful for all the things that you get to experience while in this body. And feel what that moving into gratitude feels like. There is no room for fear and gratitude to exist in the same place. So breathe into gratitude. that might be, you can open your eyes now, that might be a good tool to use every single morning before you even get out of bed. You know, somebody mentioned last Sunday that Louise Hay used to get up every morning. Well, before she even got up, she would thank her bed, you know, thank the mattress and the bed, thank the pillow, thank the blankets, thank everything for giving her the comfort that she had experienced during the night. So, but she wouldn't have been able to experience it unless she had that gift of presence, the divine presence within her. So my second gift is the gift of connection. So here we are in these bodies, and we're not doing anything alone. We're doing everything together. So let's think and be grateful for the significance of our relationships. We have family, we have friends, we have our community. We can form relationships with people in the marketplace or anywhere. We're always in relationship with somebody else. We're in relationship with our animals, with our pets, with our plants. We're in relationship always, that we're connected. And again, I'm going to say, well, here I'll let Neil deGrasse Tyson say it. He says, we are all connected to each other biologically, to the earth chemically, to the rest of the universe atomically. We're all connected. There isn't any single place in you that can be separate from the whole, because all there is the whole. We choose to call the whole God, or as I call it, using GOD, it's the grand overall design. We can't get out of it. So we might as well be really grateful for that gift of connection. Really grateful. And what I know is that as we're grateful for the people, the plants, the pets, the things, everything in our lives, that allows us to, especially if we're remembering that we're living we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience, as we remember that, and we remember that everything is divine energy, then we form a bond continually. And we remember, no, I'm not alone. I'm not doing this by myself. Together we're grieving. Together we're laughing. Together we're angry. Together we're starting to come to a place of, okay, it is what it is. And yet even in that is what it is, we can move our particular lives beyond the fear and the resentment and the things that come up with that. My third gift is the gift of challenges. Now, Chief Seattle said, we are all strands in the web of life. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. Which means, what should I be doing? As a person who is totally immersed in the science of mind, my job then is not to go down the rabbit hole, but to hold the high watch. I'm going to tell you the same thing that I told the foundations class past Wednesday morning. You wouldn't be in a teaching like this unless you were a light worker. And some people go, well, what does that mean? Well, a light worker to me is somebody who has made an agreement to recognize the highest truth of all as to the best of our ability, and not only in ourselves, but in everybody. My falling down the rabbit hole and getting angry and resentful and fearful is not holding up the highest. So I think that just by the fact that we chose to be in a teaching like this, the responsibility that comes with it is not only to watch our own thoughts and feelings, but to not negate anything that's out there, but to hold it up to the light. We're light workers. So we're all strands in this web of life. And boy, how many of you have done the web dance? You know, you're out in your garden and you run into the spider web and you're like, you know, I know probably everybody can relate to that. But when I actually stopped one day, because this one spider, I guess it's a pumpkin spider or something, a big one, created this web. I don't know how it got from my rose bushes over to the ginger. There's got to be 15 feet there. How did he throw that line all the way over there? But I'm looking at this web, and the sun happened to be in the right place, and I was watering, and, you know, it got sparkles on it, and so then I really had to get in there and look at it. And so I touched one of the pieces of the web. He's over here, or she is over there, and I touched one that was right in front of me, sort of like bing, and it went with its foot, you know, did this drumming kind of thing on its part of the web. And so I tried it again. And it probably thought I was nuts, but that's okay, because I am. So then I tried over at this area. Let's just ding, that one. Again, stomping its foot, and I got it. All right, I'll leave your web alone. You know, but could you make it, if you're gonna throw it across my yard, would you make it a little higher so I can at least go under it? Yeah, not this eye, right, yes, you're right. So one of the things that I know, and when we're talking about this strands of life and looking at all the strands that are out there, all the strands that are in here, is that life's difficulties all sometimes come as blessings. Because we begin to see what needs to be done to move the consciousness higher. Now, what I'm going to tell you is consciousness is raising. You can't stop it. It doesn't look like it's rising sometimes. All around our planet, the same shit is going on that's going on in our country. Something amazing is happening. It doesn't look like it, but don't get in there and mess around in the stuff. Begin to look at it as, wow, I wonder what's that story about the little boy who's out in the barn and he finds some poop or something, and he's been wanting a pony for Christmas for years, and you know, he's cleaning up the barn and he's saying, well, I know a pony's around here somewhere, you know, because of the poop, right? I didn't tell the story very well, I'm sorry. But you've all heard it. It's been around forever. What? The optimist and the pessimist, right, that's right, yeah. So we're optimists, we're light workers. And so what I know is that as we begin to allow ourselves to be grateful for every little thing, that opens us up to see even those moments as gifts. Many of you know that my childhood history is not a pleasant one, but I'm much stronger as an adult because of it. I survived. I know that I can work with people who are going through the same thing because I did it, and so they can do it. So in this arena of the circus that's going on politically, we can survive it. We can survive it. We have to remember, instead of being a part of the circus by being afraid because that's what they want, we stand above it. We rise above it. We allow ourselves to be lovers We allow ourselves to be light workers. Dr. Holmes says, gratitude is not only an attitude, but also an avenue through which we receive the gifts of life. As we give thanks, we open the floodgates for even greater blessings to flow. I know I asked you last week, perhaps, to write down 3 things or 5 things, I don't remember which one it was, every day that you were grateful for. I'm going to ask you again to do whatever you can or whatever pleases you to let yourself be more grateful for absolutely everything in life. And maybe when we go down the rabbit hole, we could go, you know, I'm grateful that I can think through things, or I'm grateful I have these emotions. But somehow, find something to be grateful for in your life, because it's an avenue through which we receive the gifts of life, as Ernest Holmes says. We open the floodgates. So I'm thinking then myself, personally, that I'm starting to not only write my 5 gratitudes every night, but I'm also doing a gratitude list for our country. What am I grateful for in our country? I am so grateful for living in a national park, practically. You know, I'm grateful for all of the nature that's here. I'm grateful for the busyness of the cities and the things that get taken care of there. You know, I'm grateful for all the people that are doing the work that they can to improve their lives and the lives of the people around them. So let's start finding things to be grateful for about America. And let's see what happens. What I know is we are shifting our perspective. This is what we need to do, is shift our perspective. And I'm offering it to you, the opportunity, through gratitude, because we want to see through the lens of abundance rather than lack. What I know is that as I focus on being grateful, then it helps me shift from being angry and fearful, etc. It helps me dissolve those negative patterns. And once again, I come back to creating the space for comfort and joy. Each one of us is responsible for doing that for ourselves, you know. The government isn't going to do it for you. Your parents didn't even do it for you, really. How you act is what does it. How you believe is what does it. How you move yourself into a place of realizing, yes, the energy out there is really chaotic, but in this room, it's peaceful, it's compassionate, it's loving, it's kind. Unless we choose it not to be. And I'll say to you one thing I learned a long time ago. If there's 40 people in here, there's 40 different talks I've just given. So each one of us has to take whatever we can use to move ourselves beyond where we might have been the last week and a half and breathe into it. Breathe deeply. So here's your challenge or your homework, let's say, for next week. So what gifts of life do you overlook? That's one of your questions. And how can you start noticing and appreciating them more fully? Those of you who journal, that would be two good things. And so I know that, like me, you're grateful for this center. So I want you to take that gratitude out into the larger community. As you're driving by somebody's house like I did this morning, who's still got a big, huge flag and a big, huge sign that says, the winner's name. I don't want us to go there. See, that comment there can lead us right into the rabbit hole. And it's funny. You're right. It was funny. But even our humor takes us to a place where we don't want to be. If you're going to be a light worker, you have to be a light worker. And this is something else I've discovered about being a light worker, is that when you're stinking thinking, it's worse than somebody who's just walking around being a person. You feel it more. You experience it more quickly. You bring it about. Remember, it's done unto us as we believe. And right now, I believe that we are so fortunate to live in Eureka, where there's so much beauty, so much art, so much music. I mean, think about the gifts that we have in our city. And that's one of the reasons I'm here, by the way, was when the call went out that you needed another minister, I looked up Eureka, and it said Sunset Magazine. It had an article online that said it was one of the few places artists can make a living. It was a very artsy town. That it had a symphony for a town of 27,000 people. That's pretty amazing that it has its own symphony that's really good. It actually now has 2 symphonies. But it had art and music and great places to eat and wonderful scenery, etc. And I thought, sounds like I could live there pretty good. The interesting thing about all of that, though, is that I came here, and I was here over the weekend or a little bit longer, and I felt like I was home. And it was a great thing. And I went back to Baltimore going, oh, I hope they pick me. And then my brother, my Harris family brother, the adopted family, sent me a file on my adoption. And in that file, because our father had died and he was going through all our father's stuff, right? He sent me that file, and as I'm going through this file, which is a lot of legal stuff about adoption, blah, 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 I come across this letter from my birth mother, who at that time I didn't know. And she said, I'm sorry I'm having such a hard time signing these papers. I don't want to give her up, but I know I've got to. And I just hope that she knows how much I love her, and I will sign the papers when I can. And I had already met my birth sister, so I called her to read her this letter and tell her what it meant to me. And she is talking, because she's the one that's found all of us, and she's talking to me, and while she's talking to me, I'm flipping pages over, and I flipped that letter over, and the envelope was stapled, and the address is Eureka, California. So I knew I was really home. And I got the call saying, you've got it. And I was like, yay! So this is what I know, is that those kind of things, whether they be big like that one was a really big thing for me, if it's big like that or something small, whatever, these things will continue to come to us because the universe wants to shower us with blessings and love. But it can't if we're going, damn it. It can't do it then. All it could do is go, oh, you're angry? Let me give you some more. So let's do what we can to breathe into this idea, this gift of challenges, which was my third one. Remember the gift of presence, the gift of connection, and the gift of challenges. And I know that it will help us move through these times. We are living in challenging times, definitely. But it doesn't mean that we have to be afraid. So let's go into treatment. How grateful I am to remember that there's only one life, one mind, one heart, one spirit. There's only the one. This divine energy that's infinitely intelligent and unconditionally loving. This energy that became us so that it could experience life through us, as us. How grateful we are to remember that it's our choice at every single moment to either be in fear or to be in love. And gratitude is a great part of love. So I declare right now for all of us that we are willing and ready to be grateful for life itself. That's life with a capital L. We're ready and willing to experience ourselves as this unique, individualized expression of the one. We're grateful to live where we live. We're grateful for nature. We're grateful for absolutely everything that there is. And as we feel gratitude, we change the trajectory of the energy. And we declare that it's growing, it's rising, it's showering us all with blessings. And so we're grateful for that. So grateful. So I celebrate us, and I celebrate our willingness to be light workers. I celebrate knowing that each of us at a deeper level knows the highest truth. And we're expressing it with grace. And for this, I'm grateful. And so I release these words knowing that they are so, and so it is. So let's say our affirmation. Oops, where did our affirmation go? There it is. Rick, you get to be the affirmation. Okay, ready? Take a breath. With an open and grateful heart, I give thanks for all the blessings in my life. I give thanks for the bounty of the earth, for the love of family and friends, and for the pure joy that comes from just being alive. And so it is. And as you saw, Rick is giving us our special music this morning. So let's welcome him.
Well, it's not just me, it's me with the band. This is a song I wrote. I've actually got the date on the lyrics. December 1st, 1990. And Jackson and I performed it around that time. It's called A Brand New Song. And it was brand new then. And, you'll be able to tell by the lyrics that Jackson was there because I included him in the lyrics. And I sprung this on the guys this morning because Angelica reminded me on Thursday, oh, Rick, you're doing the music on Sunday. And I went, what? I am? No, I thought it was on the 29th. And I looked on my calendar and went, oh, that was 2 months ago. Okay, well, I better find something. So, guys, thank you so much for jumping in here. There's my A. I got a brand new song. I want to sing it with somebody. I got a brand new song. I just learned today, 30 years ago. I got a brand new song. I want to sing it with somebody because the song just ain't no fun till you sing it with someone. Help me, Jackson. We got a brand new song. We want to hear it with piano.
We got a brand new song we just learned today. We got a brand new song. We want to hear it with piano, 'cause the song just ain't no fun till you hear it with Jackson. It's kind of like baking a pie. Don't ask me how, 'cause I don't know why. But when it gets ready to slice, when there's more than you, then it's much more nice. It's kind of like doing a dance. When there's only you, then there's no romance. But when you get someone on the floor, don't ask me why, but it's so much more. We got a brand new song. We want to sing it for some people. We got a brand new song we just learned today. We got a brand new song. We want to sing it for some people, 'cause the song just ain't been sung till you sing it for someone. It's kind of like a baseball game. When there's no one watching, it's kind of a shame. But when you get a great big crowd, you can jump and cheer, you can shout out loud. It's kind of like having a church. If nobody shows, then you're in the lurch. But when you get a lot of folks there, it feels like you're walking in the air. We got a brand new song. We want to sing it for some people. We got a brand new song we just learned today. Hey, hey, we got a brand new song. We want to sing it with some people, 'cause the song just ain't been sung till you sing it with someone. Everybody. 'Cause the song just ain't been sung till you sing it with someone. 'Cause the song just ain't been sung till you sing it with someone.
That was absolutely delightful. Thank you for doing that. What a wonderful, wonderful feeling from that. All right, and if you would like to share that wonderful feeling, it's time for the sharing of our gifts. We will have the plates going around here in a moment, and let's see if I can get a screen up for us. Oop, too far. So the plates will go around. Please put in it what you can. Always, always, always put love and gratitude. Together we say, I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond. And so it is. In accepting these gifts on behalf of the center and of this community, I know that every single gift in these plates is filled with love, gratitude, enthusiasm, joy, and the knowledge of a better world coming every single morning as we wake up. And I accept these gifts with that intent, knowing that they too will go out into the universe and spread those positive feelings everywhere. And for that, we are all grateful. We release these words into the law of mind, knowing that they are already in progress, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you. All right, as we get to the end of our service here, we'll have somebody come up and read the community statement of inclusion in but a moment. Also a reminder that the practitioners are available. So if you would like to talk to somebody, share, find out a little bit more about the philosophy, whatever you would like to do, you can find one of us around here. I am obviously a practitioner, as is Susan, as is Michele, as is Edward, with or without clown nose, entirely. And there's a council meeting afterward too. Anybody is welcome to attend that, of course. Demonstrations, just to reiterate what a demonstration is, our philosophy summed up believes we picture something, that comes to us from wherever our ideas come from, that we picture something, we see it, we feel it, we believe it, we affirm it, and then it is. And if that process has happened to you, either in your own experience or by praying or talking or doing a treatment with somebody, we would love to have you share these periodically, and I've got 2 coming up. So let's start with Rose, and then we'll go, we got 3. Rose, Tiffany, and then Mark.
I'm raising it for James because I don't know if you
Oh, okay. So Rose, Tiffany, and then Mark being codependent for James. Rose, you're up.
Hi, good morning. So I was listening to Angelica and reminiscing on how her words about being grateful fall into what's happened to me this last week. But she's right, it's like we're light bearers, and if we let ourselves go down, we'll miss the good. It's like we have to stay up here so we can see the good. On the 4th of July this last year, I was walking with Wakana in Old Town at the 4th of July celebration, and I was in a good space. I was happy, it was a beautiful day, and this woman at the veterans table, who I have never seen since, at any veterans event, I don't know who she was. She was like, come here. And I went to her and she said, we got money. Anything happened to you in the service? I'm like, who are you? You got money? I mean, that's exactly what she said to me. We got money. And I went, well, a funny thing, 46 years ago, my service ended in a real explosive way with them wanting to make an example of me. And I was told by my superiors, they're making an example of you because I was a bad girl. I had a baby out of wedlock. Oh dear, oh dear. And so even though everybody on my base had written letters, and I got an honorable out, saying that I needed to be moved to a permanent duty station, USAF headquarters came back and said, send her out on the next longest duty so she will be parted from her child. So 3 years later, they changed the laws. They couldn't do that to single parents anymore unless it was wartime. Well, this wasn't wartime. So 46 years later, I applied. I listened. I was in a high place, and when some angel comes out of the woodwork and goes, let me give you money, I go, okay, sign me up. Well, this week I got it. For the rest of my life, the government's going to say, I'm sorry every month in the form of a check.
Tiffany, you're next. The pressure's on. Try and make that.
I'm
not getting any money. So when COVID happened, my work sent me home, and we've been home ever since. And so I don't know if that's going to continue or not. There's a lot of rustlings about whether that's true, but it allowed me to move here, which has been a huge blessing. And that was something I thought I couldn't do until retirement. And so anyway, the thing I was missing though was seeing live people, which is why sometimes I'm inappropriately enthused to see you on Sunday and have a hard time letting go. But I started going to this thrift store in town, and I really liked it there. And I noticed that everybody who worked there seemed really happy. And I realized that I was spending all of my money there. And so for some reason, I just felt moved one day to ask the woman at the cash register, how do you guys staff this place? And she goes, we're all volunteers, and we get 20% off. Yeah. And so anyway, I've been volunteering there on Saturdays for just over a month, and I have to tell you, I'm really enjoying having coworkers again and getting to know people and working with them. And they're giving me, this doesn't sound like something to be grateful for, but I am really grateful for. They're giving me a really healthy mix of like the most mundane tasks you can think of. Like I was sticking the foam back on hangers yesterday. I'm really good at it, really good at it. And then also working at the cash register. And when I'm at the cash register, I'm kind of like the Saturday Night Live skit where Kristen Wiig was the Target lady, where every single thing that somebody buys, I'm all, where did you find this? This is amazing! And somebody got a Pendleton wool shirt that looked brand new for $7. And I thought I was gonna lose my mind. I mean, I wasn't physically jumping up and down, but that was the level of excitement I had for them. And so anyway, yeah, it's just been so great. And they're having a Christmas party, which is something my work hasn't done in years. And so yesterday they were very careful about giving me an invite and making sure that I knew to come. So anyway, it's just been so great, so great. And it's 4 hours out of my week. It's like not a heavy lift at all. So anyway, the Cancer Society one in Henderson Center.
James?
So you all know I do A Course in Miracles. And Thursday night we have a personal group that comes in. So I got there a little early and I was discussing this thing, a little bit of politics I took in there, which I shouldn't have, but I did. And the lady mentioned, or somehow we got into RFK Jr. And because I watch so much news, I had made judgments and stuff on him and projected that out. But she came back to me because she saw him in some other kind of light and really liked him. Because he did something years ago and she really, and I brought some other things. But it was like, when that was over, my lesson for that day was about fearlessness. And what I was doing was I was making myself fearful. So what happened was, yesterday, because our bill went up and stuff, we've decided to stop watching TV completely and just have on the streaming stuff. So we got rid of all of that. I stopped reading the news again. And I noticed that I was feeling more peaceful. So it was the projection that I was doing because I was judging somebody that I didn't know about things only that I watch on one station. Because I don't watch that other station. So that's, that really helped me to see how I create things myself and to try to change. Thank you.
Also wanted to make a quick note. Tomorrow, for those of us who knew her, will be 1 year since Les passed. So I would just like to take a moment and remember Les.
Oh, that reminds me of something.
Okay?
We're going to end with it. So
Oh, okay. So are we going to do this closing, the inclusion?
let's not do that reading thing.
We're not going to do the community statement of inclusion. We are not inclusive today. No, okay.
You don't have to read that to be inclusive.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And besides, many of us have heard it so many times. But I forgot something that I wanted to do.
Well, up here or?
Michele has been so wonderful in creating a frenda for us. And I love all the pictures that everybody's brought. And every Sunday since we set it up, I've been saying, oh, we're going to do a blessing for it, but then I don't. So we're going to end with the blessing, and then we'll do the peace song, okay? So if you haven't had a chance to look at it, look at all the beloveds that are on that table. Do so on your way out. But right now, we're knowing this, that in truth, there is no death. There is a change of body, change of experience, change of energy. And so what we know from each one of these people is that their presence has blessed us in some way. Everyone that put up a picture has been blessed in some way because of those people. So in turn, we allow ourselves to bless them. The Hawaiians say that in the 1 year anniversary, and this is for you, Les, the 1 year anniversary, they have a big party because they're thanking people. We're thanking the ones that have passed on for doing our work in the spiritual realm, and they're thanking us for doing their work in the physical realm. And so we celebrate each and every one of those people that's represented on that table. We celebrate anyone else that we've been thinking about that also might be represented, and we're knowing that life, love, never dies. And we're so grateful for this, and so it is. All right, let's stand.
Let's stand and make our circle. Good job. Good-looking crowd today. Yay. Every day. Jackson. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.